This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Stephanie and I, and John will be along in a second, but keep an eye on the bottom of your screen for local and state race results. Good post-election day morning. I'm Don, she's Stephanie, and we have a new president.
Yes, we do. Let's get right to the presidential election numbers. By just 1 percentage point, Donald Trump won the presidency. Hillary Clinton conceded the race to President-elect Trump overnight, but she has not yet spoken publicly. We are going to go live to New York City for team coverage this morning of this very historic election. Many folks waking up this morning to get the very latest news.
Good morning. If it was an October surprise, it was certainly a November shocker for so many. Donald Trump has won the presidency. Arriving by motorcade in true presidential fashion, Donald Trump addressing a jubilant crowd.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us.
The GOP nominee, now the president of the United States. Trump winning Ohio, clinching Iowa and North Carolina, and defeating the odds of early polls.
Ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement made up of millions of hardworking men and women who love their country and want a better, brighter future for themselves and for their family.
And it's cleared out here around the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, Trump election headquarters. But as the crowd of support was leaving, it was a sea of red, white, and Make America Great Again. Adrienne Bankert, ABC News, New York. Now over to my colleague Kenneth Moton following Hillary Clinton.
And Adrian, Hillary Clinton supporters will start the day shocked and confused. An amazing moment when Clinton's campaign chair, not Clinton, walked onto the stage for her election night party. He told supporters to go home because it was not over. Well, that changed quickly. Shock and awe for Hillary Clinton and her supporters.
It's been a long campaign, but I could say we can wait a little longer, can't we?
Clinton's campaign chair, John Podesta, taking the stage in the early morning hours to tell the somber crowd she's not giving up.
She's done an amazing job, and she is not done yet. So thank you for being with her. She has always been with you.
But moments later, Clinton, the first woman to secure a major party nomination for president, called Donald Trump to concede. She had the money, she had the high-profile surrogates, and she had President Obama. But early results show she failed to win over the majority of the voters in several key battleground states. The Clinton campaign says she will have more to say later this morning. At this point, it appears it will be a concession speech. Reporting live in New York this morning, Kenneth Moton, ABC News. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, developing overnight now, news of Trump's presidency win, sending some people protesting to the streets.
Damage reports are coming out of Oakland, California for protests. Social media videos show people marching, chanting negative messages towards Trump. Also, video of Trump and a doll being burned in effigy. As car fires, broken windows, and protesters walking through the streets. Police are working to control the crowd, obviously, and avoid any injuries. But right now, that's what's happening as you wake up with us this morning.
Yeah, a lot of change on the way. A lot of people, obviously, finding out for the first time now what's going on, but hopefully we can have, some togetherness, a deep breath. It's probably gonna take a little while, though.
A lot of pollsters scratching their heads this morning.
Yeah, no.
I think too. It's kind of surprising result.
It's like meteorology. It's an inexact science.
There's an art involved.
There is an art involved. Hopefully our cold front's more predictable than an election.
I've never been happier to be a meteorologist this morning. We have some changing weather coming up today. I think you're going to like it as well. We have a cold front that's working its way through. Yes, we'll have some clouds that we'll have to deal with today. Maybe even a patch of drizzle. Watch those showers moving into the Big Bend region this morning. Light stuff, drizzle, sprinkles, that kind of thing, with the heavier the rain located well back to the west. We will see today about a 20% chance of some of those sprinkles thinking southward during the second half of the day. But the thing is, once this front is through, oh, how the weather will change, and change for the better, I think. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at the Suncoast roadways. Things are looking good right now. Thankfully, the streets are quiet, unlike parts of the country right now. But Bradenton's looking good, 41, 301, 75, all moving along, as are the arteries out to 75. Not a lot of people on the road right now, so that's a good thing. And Sarasota County, same is holding true there, all the way through Venice and Northport.
Yeah, University was closed at I-75, the exit this morning, so that'll continue for the next hour or so.
Well, that says they're putting the bridge up for the construction at the diverging diamond. So they got a part of it. It's like we're making progress. So,
we're getting there.
They're putting the bridge on one side of it, and then they can start the other side, and pretty soon we'll have a diverging diamond.
That overnight road work. It is 5:05, and with the surprising election, obviously, it kept people guessing through the night on how these final results would turn out.
We spoke to the people across the Suncoast, many Democrats gathering at Marina Jacks, and they told us their thoughts while awaiting the announcement of our next president.
I know that each presidential election is a test of our times. It's definitely a huge gauge for where we feel that we are. I'm still hopeful. I will be till the very end.
I mean, I feel right now with this election, how everything's gone, you can't really make any kind of prediction. I don't know. The night's not going exactly how really most people thought it would, I guess.
While at the gathering last night, ABC7's Kate Flexter also spoke with the vice president of the Sarasota Democratic Party, and he says he anticipated a close race.
Well, you know, I knew it was going to be a close race, and it was a tough night for Sarasota Democrats in Sarasota County. We worked hard, we knocked on doors, we made calls, but this is America and the voters speak, and you know, when the voters speak, that's that's what they've said.
Now to the race for Florida's seat in the U.S. Senate. Incumbent Senator Marco Rubio is waking up with the same job. He was reelected to a second term with 52% of the vote, beating U.S. Representative Patrick Murphy, who received 44% of the vote. Earlier this year, of course, you'll remember that Rubio was in the race for the White House, running against Trump. And after dropping out of the primary, he was convinced to run for re-election for his Senate seat. He spoke earlier in Miami about his victory as Patrick Murphy gives his concession speech.
Despite all of our challenges, there is no country and there is no people on this planet that I would trade places with. I am glad that I'm an American in the 21st century. America's going to be okay. We will turn this country around. I have faith. I know God is not done with America yet.
Senator Rubio and I obviously have our differences. You all saw the debates. Right? We have our differences. But at this point, it is important that we come together and do what's best for Florida. Floridians are counting on Senator Rubio to fight for them, and he is going to be a fighter for Florida, right?
Now, Florida voters also making decisions about whether to approve 4 amendments to the state constitution, and some very controversial. And one of the most controversial Amendment 1, which would have kept residents from subsidizing solar for those who put panels on their homes and businesses, but it failed to get 60% that it needed to pass. And that was a controversial because the wording was such that one Supreme Court justice in Florida called it a wolf in sheep's clothing. This amendment has been contentious. There's protests across the state and on the Suncoast. Pro-solar groups saying that misleading language was leading people to vote for the wrong thing, and it would have protected consumers from fraud. Major utility companies put more than $25 million behind this amendment.
This has been an incredible grassroots effort against a $26 million campaign bankrolled by Florida's biggest utilities to kill solar. And tonight, what we're seeing is that people power can actually make a huge difference.
The state's 4 major private utilities, Florida Power and Light, Duke Energy, Tampa Electric, and Gulf Power, collectively spent more than $20 million. So they were seeking to keep the existing regulations regarding solar energy in the state constitution.
Controversial Amendment 2 got more than enough support to pass. It legalizes medical marijuana for people with physician-approved conditions. Florida becomes the 26th state, along with the District of Columbia, to legalize medical marijuana. This is the second time the referendum was put before Florida voters. Last time it fell 2 points short in 2014. Arkansas and North Dakota also passing similar initiatives. Massachusetts, Nevada, and California legalized recreational marijuana.
Amendment 3 is passing with 84% support from the voters. It gives permanently disabled first responders breaks on their homestead property taxes, and they won't be the only ones getting the tax break because Amendment 5 passed with 78%. is supporting homestead tax exemptions for elderly residents whose properties are valued at $250,000 or less.
Locally, some major changes are on the way for South Sarasota County after a heated mayoral race in Venice and the approval of a multi-million-dollar bond.
Mayor John Hollick is still the mayor as he beat his opponent Frankie Abbruzzino to win re-election. Hollick winning with a healthy margin of 65%. In a speech earlier this evening, or last evening, the mayor thanked his supporters and said he looks forward to getting back to work. He's also glad this happened because both Venice bonds have passed, a $16 million public safety bond, which will be used to build a new police station, and an $18 million road bond used to rebuild all the roads in Venice.
I think those voters know that I have been working hard, and I'm going to continue to work hard for the city. There's projects that are unfinished, and I want to get as many of them as I can finished during the next 3 years.
Voters in Northport were not as happy with their incumbent, Jacqueline Moore. She was the mayor until yesterday when she resigned from her seat to run for another commission district seat in Northport, which is the district she lives in. Voters instead chose businessman Chris Hanks, who will now join the Northport Commission.
Every one of us has a role, Christopher, so whether I'm an elected official or I'm a member of this awesome community, we have a lot of great work to do together. So my message is, let's all step up, step in, and be part of creating a great future.
All right.
Wrapping up and recapping the highlights of this election.
Yeah, Donald Trump has been elected to be the next president of the United States. Everybody's waking up with a new president.
Marco Rubio re-elected to hold the Florida seat in the U.S. Senate. Also, Amendment 1 involving solar power regulations failed. Amendment 2 on medical marijuana use in the state passed. So a lot of changes this morning, and a lot of people, just finding out for the first time now about President-elect Trump, since I know, when we went to bed at 10:11 last night, those numbers were still rolling in. So it was very early this morning when this all became official.
And even Hillary's camp and her campaign manager, Podesta, was saying that, well, we're not giving up just yet. It was such a slim margin. And as he was saying that, Trump comes out and say, I just got a call from Hillary. She has conceded the race.
And we've been told by the networks that we will hear an official word from Hillary to the country a little bit later on this morning. Obviously, everybody in those camps getting some much needed rest. We're taking a live look at Washington, D.C. right now. Obviously, a lot of changes on the way as we go through these next few months.
Now, lights are on. You think that they're already moving out and Trump's ready to move in? He's already got a redecorator in there?
Probably sleeping. I'm guessing he stayed up late like the rest of us last night.
Got the Sharpies out, cardboard boxes, writing on, bedroom.
He was moving out regardless of who was.
Put the high boy over there in the Oval Office.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, it's kind of like a Dewey defeats Truman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
a little surreal this morning.
Yeah, it is. Looking at showers in the forecast for us and then some changes in the weather that I think you're going to like. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, John. And more results from the election from the Sarasota area coming.
And also coming up soon is the election impacting the stock market. Supposedly it was going to go down if Trump was elected. We'll tell you the latest results when we come back.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Why wait until the turkey has left you feeling tired? The Black Friday sales event has already started at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Ram trucks are built tough enough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the technology and comfort you'd find in a luxury vehicle. Right now, get over 20% off. That's up to $15,000 off a new Ram 1500. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at an air temperature that's coming in at 66 degrees, the dew point still warm at 62 compared to what we will be looking at tomorrow morning, I think. I think even the dew points this afternoon will rise a little before they start to fall as our winds shift more from, well, calm right now. Northeasterly, easterly is where they're generally coming from during these morning hours. They'll be shifting to a more southeasterly direction and then even southwesterly before we start to funnel down some of this drier air that we've been well advertising over the last couple of days. 63 Wauchula, 62 Arcadia, Mayaca, 63 Parrish, 62 in Bradenton, 63 Lakewood Ranch, Northport the same. 56 degrees down in Punta Gorda, 66 in Inglewood, 65 in Venice, 68 degrees at Longboat Key. Little suspect of that Punta Gorda temperature. So if you look at the water vapor imagery showing you those swirls and motions in the atmosphere, clearly there's a plume of very rich moisture content air. That's our southern branch jet stream, that river of air aloft that separates the cold from the dry air. We're looking to the north of that and seeing this kind of tan contour right here. That's the leading edge of some drier air. It's going to bring us some sunnier skies once we sink this southern branch jet stream a little further to the south. High pressure back to the north, producing a northerly wind flow that's going to take the frontal boundary and the low pressure area that's provided lots and lots of rainfall for parts of Louisiana Delta back through Texas. And it's going to push it down to the south today. As it sinks southward, we'll watch our winds shift from an easterly direction to a more northerly direction by nighttime, and that draws down the drier air. So we're thinking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, into the weekend, looking at nice weather. Low relative humidities, cool, crisp mornings, and daytime high temperatures that'll be, if not at average, maybe a little below average, coming in the upper 70s for daytime highs. So some really delightful weather on the way for about 4 or 5 days. More clouds around today, however, with that front moving through, it kind of adds the little kicker to the atmosphere combined with that high moisture content air to produce the cloud cover and maybe even a sprinkle or two, though the rain chance is small. Then we'll watch for those cooler temperatures to arrive. In fact, today will even be a little bit cooler than it was yesterday because the cloud coverage is kind of knocking down the heat a little bit. Some scattered showers to the north of us, but our area roadways for the morning commute remain absolutely free and clear of any problems with the weather. Forecast looks like this. Southeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10. Winds picking up with that front moving through tonight. Boaters, be cautious about that. Don't be caught by surprise. And then tomorrow, a little bit breezy and daytime highs in the upper 70s with full sun, low relative humidity, dew points in the 50s. Looks like it's going to be an outstanding weekend. Back to you.
All right, looking good. Thank you very much, John. Looking at the morning commute this morning, it is very quiet on the roadways at this early hour. Not seeing much volume through Bradenton and I-75. University Parkway exits southbound were closed overnight as they work on that diverging Diamond Bridge, so keep that in mind. We expect those to open for the morning commute. In Sarasota, looking good going across Bee Ridge, Fruitville, and Clark roads. No problems being reported there. I-75 southbound into South County also looking good at this hour. We are not seeing any delays, so we should be off to a good start at 5:20.
Stephanie, now a number of other races here in Sarasota County were also decided yesterday, and everybody's hanging on their seat, waiting to see what happened.
Everything from a Sarasota County Commission seat to the county tax collector. Here's a rundown of our local races. As for the Sarasota County Hospital Board, District 1, William Noonan takes the race at 55%. Challenger Jody Davenport came in at 45%. Barbara Ford Coates will retain the seat of Sarasota County tax collector, going away with 61% of the vote. Jim Bender receiving 39%.
In the race for Sarasota County Commissioner District 1, Mike Moran wins the seat with 58%, while former Sarasota City Mayor Fred Atkins at 42% of the vote. And Karen Rushing will also retain her seat as Sarasota County's Circuit Clerk of Courts. She brought in 65% of the vote.
A lot of people putting in a lot of time, so nice to see the process working. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
With the election season coming to an end, the holiday shopping season is just beginning. We'll tell you what milestone we may reach. And also coming up, continuing election coverage with a word from our new presidential-elect.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Welcome back, everybody. It's 5:23, and online shopping expected to reach a huge milestone this holiday season.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the details.
In today's Tech Bites, equality for online shopping.
Overall holiday shopping this year is expected to hit $1 trillion, and for the first time, consumers are expected to spend as much online as they do at stores.
Analysts call this year a major turning point in retailing. Also, they predict Cyber Monday will be the largest online shopping day of all time.
But a warning as the holidays approach. Remember, buyer beware. Hundreds of fake retail apps have already been discovered in the iTunes App Store.
They've pretended to be everything from the dollar store to Nordstrom. Apple says it remains vigilant about rooting out these fakers. And Nintendo will be turning back the clock this Friday with the release of its NES Classic Edition. It comes with 30 preloaded games, including Donkey Kong.
Nintendo's also reviving its famous Power line through the weekend to help players with any gaming tips they might need.
Ooh, if only they brought back Ataris.
Tetris.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Boost. It's about moving forward, not back. It's looking up, not down. It's feeling up, thinking up, living up. It's being in motion, in body, in spirit, in the now. Boost. It's not just nutrition, it's intelligent nutrition with 26 vitamins and minerals and 10 grams of protein, all in 3 delicious flavors. It's choosing to go in one direction, up. Boost. Be up for it.
She's the reason the good times are great. And the reason the tough times are easier. Because she's your best friend and your true love. Presenting the Ever Us two-stone diamond collection. New rings, necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 diamond for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jerry, and Zales.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. This hurricane season, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, a new day, a new president. After all the debates, campaigning, mudslinging, the voters have spoken in support of Donald Trump.
Reaction to last night's general election having its effect on world financial markets.
Following last night's stressful elections, what you can do to decompress and get back on track.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi, who did not win the presidency last night. John, I'm a little disappointed, but
Did you write him in? I didn't know you were.
I did not, but I thought about it, believe me.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
But for years.
Wonder who the lead write-in candidate was. That would be interesting.
That would be.
And did they actually register? Because we, learned through the process that they have to register to be official.
written in?
Yes, it doesn't count.
So I couldn't have written John in.
You could have written it, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. That's see. If you
but I
vote
appreciate
in
the
woods,
vote,
nobody's
Donnie.
around to hear it.
You can
Depends what kind of
donate to the
weather.
campaign treasury
What kind of
anytime
weather
you like.
deliver for the weekend? Whether we're going to vote for you.
It's going to be awesome, no doubt about it. We have a little bit of drizzle occurring up around the Big Bend region. You can see that kind of moving in over the last 3 hours or so. For us, nothing that will probably mar the morning commute, but I think a little later on this afternoon you'll see a scattered patch of drizzle or maybe a shower or two possible. We have a front sinking south, and while our temperatures today will still be mild, tomorrow I think we will notice some much drier air moving in and some slightly cooler temperatures as well. Talk all about the forecast in a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at the roadways, there were a couple incidents, but they have been cleared. So right now, everything is looking good on Suncoast roadways. But as Stephanie pointed out, the University Parkway Bridge on 75, the diverging diamond is being put in today. So there is road closures there. Be aware of it on 75. And you see it there. And there is also an accident now on Fruitville Road. And it's at Camus Street and Bunyan Street, right off of Fruitville Road, just south of Fruitville. Otherwise, everything on the Suncoast is looking good this morning. Not a lot of people on the roadways. I think a lot of people stayed up late last night for the presidential election.
Yeah, probably going to be a slow start for folks this morning. It is 5:31, and history has been made in the 2016 presidential campaign race. Obviously, some tense moments, and they lasted all the way to the very last minutes of Election Day.
Yeah, even just moments before we went on the air. After hours of closing of the vote and counts and consecutive upsets favoring Trump, the Republican nominee emerged victorious, and Diane Gallagher has the story.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us, it's about us, on our victory.
Donald Trump celebrating victory early Wednesday.
I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign.
Hillary Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta addressing a somber crowd of Clinton supporters.
Several states are too close to call, so we're not going to have anything more to say tonight.
After a bruising several hours for the Democratic nominee on a night that shocked much of the nation. Tuesday evening started off well enough for Clinton as vote totals began to come in, but as the evening pressed on, Clinton's lead in several key states began to shrink, giving way to a lead for Donald Trump. Then several key battleground states considered essential for Trump did indeed tip in favor of the Republican nominee. Trump winning Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina. Nail-biter races continued into the morning hours with thin margins in Pennsylvania, as well as New Hampshire, where the nominees were at one point separated by just 18 votes. Trump then pulling ahead of Clinton in the Democratic firewall state of Wisconsin, ultimately winning it along with key states like Arizona and Pennsylvania. Trump pulling off a long shot victory to become America's 45th president. I'm Diane Gallagher reporting.
Continuing our election coverage, we are learning the results of some critical local races as well.
Yeah, let's go first to the battle to represent the Suncoast in the U.S. House of Representatives. Vern Buchanan won re-election in the 16th Congressional District with 60% of the vote, beating out Jan Schneider, the Democrat. This is the sixth time Buchanan has been elected to the House.
And another local race to represent Sarasota County south of Clark Road in the U.S. House. Incumbent Republican Tom Rooney won re-election in District 17. He beats Democrat April Freeman and third-party candidate John Sawyer III.
And we're learning this morning who will represent the Suncoast in Tallahassee next year.
Republican Greg Stubbe defeated Democrat Frank Alcock in the race for Senate District 23. Stubbe will transition from his current position in Florida's House of Representatives over to Florida's Senate. And as for our representatives in the Florida House, Republican Alex Miller defeated Edward James III 58% to 42%. James lost the support of both the Sarasota County Democratic Party and the state Democratic Party after a police report detailing accusations of sexual assault emerged in October. However, no charges have been brought against James.
And a major victory for Republican Joe Gruters in the House District 73 race as Gruters defeated Reverend James Golden with 65% of the vote. Gruters is a man with many titles as he served as Donald Trump's chairman for the Florida campaign. He also is the chairman of the Sarasota County Republican Party and vice chair of the Florida Republican Party.
And certainly probably getting some high fives as Trump did take Florida in that general election.
They said the I-4 corridor, they said, is the most important section maybe in the United States for the presidential race, from Tampa to Daytona Beach, because everybody is represented in that.
Exactly, and Trump did well on that stretch with the exception of Hillsborough County, which did go to Hillary Clinton, I saw in the state results.
Everything was close, so I mean, watching that,
your
it
vote
was
matters
a nail-biter.
Yep, your vote matters here. At 5:35, the prospect of a Trump presidency is now sending shivers to the financial markets around the world, and we're starting to see some early morning reactions.
Here at home, the U.S. Dow futures are down, and ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in Washington with part of that story.
It's an election stunner making headlines around the world and tanking global stock markets from Mexico to Japan and Europe.
Don't expect too much free trade coming from America. It could be the opposite, protectionism.
This foreign relations expert explains for investors, Donald Trump is unpredictable and investors hate uncertainty. Wall Street also in panic mode. Major banks this morning are projecting this Trump victory could send the S&P tumbling and the losses could be prolonged. ABC's Martha Raddatz says those uncertainties extend well beyond the markets.
There's going to be a lot of reaction from around the world, and what this means for everybody, what it means for Asia Pacific, what it means for the war. I mean, is he going to pull troops out? And the other thing, George, I don't think any of us really know.
Meanwhile, foreigners watching the election results are divided on Trump. This man in Germany saying the outcome is hard to swallow, while this man says give Trump a chance.
So bottom line, not knowing what to expect from President Trump as far as the markets are concerned. What you're seeing right now, according to one analyst, is basically investors taking the sell first and ask later approach. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Washington.
Going to be a nail-biting day, I think, in terms of the markets.
Yes, and as far as Hillary has conceded, but she hasn't spoken. At least Donald Trump said that she called and conceded the race to him, and she has not spoken publicly as of yet.
Yeah, we expect to hear from her this morning.
Now we go to Manatee County, where 2 half-cent sales tax referendums have been decided.
A new surtax that would support improvements for infrastructure and road projects across the county passed, with support from 57% of the voters. Also on the ballot in Manatee, a continuation of a half-cent sales tax for schools. That tax will be brought back, passing with 59% support. The Manatee County School District says it needs more funding to build new schools and deal with rampant growth in the district, especially in the northeast corridor of the county. So some good news as we continue to see growth here on the Suncoast. As election night has wrapped up, we're going to take a look at some of the other races we've been watching here on the Suncoast for your morning update.
Yeah, in a 3-way battle for mayor of Bradenton, incumbent Wayne Poston has pulled ahead. 54% of the vote he won with, and he beats out challengers Warren Merriman and Eleuterio Salazar Jr. And staying in Bradenton, Gene Gallo won City Council seat 1 by a wide margin with 48% of the vote. And seat 5, also a nail-biter in Bradenton, with Harold Byrd Jr. winning by less than 250 votes. Unbelievable. Now, wrapping up and recapping the highlights of the election, Donald Trump is the new president of the United States.
Republican Vern Buchanan re-elected in the 16th Congressional District for the U.S. House of Representatives. Also, Republican Greg Steube won the race for Senate District 23. The stock market reacting drastically to election results. The U.S. Dow futures sharply down this morning. So that will, of course, be the big talk throughout the day, is how the reaction to our president-elect Donald Trump goes throughout the nation and the world. We're taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Of course, changes are on the way. Republicans, though, keeping control, we're hearing this morning, of the House and the Senate, with the Republican president set to take office in January. So always historic. Seems more so than usual with the surprises from the polls and the elections.
I think they'll be writing about this one for a long time to come.
Makes you wonder what polling really means anymore.
Well, I think more than anything is that people got out to vote more so. I'd like to see the final numbers after all said and done, and I think part of that was that people who might not have been voted got off their butts at the last minute and voted, and the pollsters were wrong because of that. You know, people were like, okay, I'm actually going to make a difference in this race. You know, my vote does count. I think people felt like that way more than
And that's a positive thing, to get more people involved in the process.
Absolutely. Becky in Mayaca says 56 degrees. She's been involved in the process of morning weather for 20-some years.
I vote for Becky.
Yeah, Becky. All nice for us today. A little bit of cloud cover, maybe some spotty drizzle. It's okay. We're going to see some changes coming up that you're really going to like. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. And speaking of the results of the election, is it getting you stressed out? All of this, all the talk and the bitterness, and now the election. If so, you're not alone. We have some tips on how to reduce your stress coming up.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Why wait until the turkey has you feeling tired? The Black Friday sales event has already started at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers or check out the stylish new Jeep Renegades starting at just $16,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Hello, I'm Jamie DiDomenico with Cool Today, Plumbing Today, and Energy Today. Here on the Suncoast, taking care of people is more than a slogan, it's a way of life. On Tuesday, November 15th, do your part and show that the Suncoast cares. Come by the Suncoast Blood Bank from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and donate one or more of these important items needed by local organizations, including a life-saving blood donation. For more details, visit suncoastcares.org. That's Tuesday, November 15th from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Suncoast Blood Bank. See you there.
Bold, fresh, colorful, gorgeous. Energize your home with the HGTV Home Furniture Collection at Bacon's Furniture and Design. With hundreds of fabrics to mix and match, you'll find your perfect style. And with design and decorating ideas from the experts at HGTV and complimentary design service at Bacon's, it's easy to create the look and feel that's uniquely you. Only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at some pleasant weather outside right now. We do have a little bit of cloud cover around, and that cloud cover will tend to hold our daytime high temperatures down a little bit from where they were yesterday. But we have a 66-degree air temperature with a dew point of 62. Calm winds currently. We'll watch those winds shifting today as well. We'll start out with kind of an easterly wind flow and then switch it down to a southeast wind or even southwest wind a little later this afternoon. That'll bring our humidity values up just a little bit today. So before things get a lot better, they will feel a little bit stickier this afternoon. Looking at temperatures across the region, 62 Wauchula Parish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport, 61 degrees Mayaca and Arcadia, 67 at Longboat Key, We have 64 in Venice, 65 in Inglewood. So across the region right now, you can see this kind of trail of blue that goes all the way up the eastern seaboard, down through the deep south, and exits down toward Mexico. That is our southern branch jet stream, or at least the reflection of it. And this is our water vapor imagery, showing you where the motions and swirls are in the atmosphere by kind of tracing out where the moisture is. The tan is the drier air that's located right back behind this stream of blue. And that tan is sinking southward, you may notice. That's because the surface reflection is a cold front that'll be moving through our state, allowing a high pressure ridge to build in. As that happens, our winds will shift from today out of the south, east, southwest, in advance of the front, and a low pressure area out in the Atlantic, which by the way, or Gulf, which by the way will just kind of fizzle out, maybe move even a little further back to the west with time. But in any event, our winds switching around to the north will draw down some of that drier air, not only aloft, but at the surface as well. And our dew points, which are currently in the low 60s most everywhere, are going to fall down into the mid 50s, even maybe some low 50s. And that is going to feel fantastic as we head into Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All look great. Even Sunday, I think, is going to be a superb day. High pressure brings us plenty of sunshine starting tomorrow. Now, today, we will have to kind of beat back those clouds just a little bit, and that does mean we have a chance at a sprinkle or two under some of those clouds, but it's not going to be a big deal. Cooler temps, though, because of the cloud cover that's around. You can see some of that rainfall trying to work its way into the Big Bend region. Light stuff for the most part. Nothing here locally, a false echo there. We will see, I think, a sprinkle before the day's over, in some places anyway. Light winds coming in out of the east, both in the northern parts of the viewing area and the southern parts of the viewing area. Not much different from north to south there. Tropics look great. No issues here. The Caribbean, Gulf waters, the Atlantic, all look A-OK. Nothing that shows any kind of organization or development over the course of the next 5 to 7 days. So that's good to know right straight through the weekend. Southeast wind at about 5 to 10, increasing in strength a little overnight tonight as that front works its way through. Tomorrow, breezy but beautiful. Daytime high about 78, low relative humidity, cool, crisp nights ahead, and for a period of extended beautiful weather. Back to you.
All right, looking good. Thank you very much, John. Looking at traffic this morning, things very quiet, certainly. Maybe folks up late with the elections last night and not up so early this morning. No problems in Bradenton at this hour. I-75 very quiet in Manatee County as well. Just starting to see some of that building volume northbound on 41 heading into downtown. Pretty quiet in Sarasota. A little bit of volume getting on I-75 at Fruitville. Quiet on Bee Ridge and Clark Road. Looks to be moving well. I-75 through Sarasota County. Also not looking at any slow spots. We were tracking an accident before on local city streets near Bee Ridge, but it has cleared up. And I-75 southbound in South County is also moving well. It is 5:48, and according to the American Psychological Association, more than half of Americans reported that the U.S. presidential election campaign is a very or significant source of stress.
No doubt about it. I think a lot of the antipathy, people were feeling it. Heightened emotions contributing to that stress. Sudden amount of significant stress definitely has a very bad effect on the body, said Sarasota cardiologist Chippy Naluri, including increased blood pressure and heart rate and a reduction in your immune system. So that's the excuse for me. There are simple things you can do to reduce your stress level.
It's a very simple breathing technique. You take a breath in through your nose, you hold it, and exhale out through the mouth. But do it for the same count. You breathe in for the same count, hold for the same count, breathe out for the same count, and repeat it until you feel that relaxation.
Dr. Naluri also suggests participating in any activity that helps you employ mindfulness, including walking, yoga, and meditation, or a combination of yoga and walking, which is waka.
In our busy, stressful lives, it's sometimes easy to fall into bad habits, of course, which cause even more stress. Doctors say start the day with foods high in protein and healthy fats. Try to rely on your memory for everything is also stressful. So keep a notebook handy at work or home. You can make lists to alleviate anxiety. Having an irregular sleep schedule also sabotages your peace of mind. Remember, the good habits are what make you feel better. And hopefully after the stress of the campaign, now we can start to take deep breaths and move on. But a lot of folks probably pretty tired today after late nights last night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But again, right, we were all stressed out about what's going to happen. We can't wait for all this antipathy to be over and the arguments and the rhetoric. But then you have the election, and so half the people are going to be disappointed.
Right.
But we have to deal with it and
Time
make
to
the
find
best
a
we
happy
can.
place.
Make America great again.
Absolutely. It is 5:50 right now. A live look at Washington, D.C., where changes are on the way at the White House. President-elect Donald Trump taking election 2016. We'll have more details after this.
I'm Alan Cohn. The results are in. We'll have the representatives of both parties on hand for analysis of the presidential and the local elections.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41. Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing, complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
It's 5:53. Here's what's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. The United States is waking up to word this morning that the next president will be Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton plans to speak to the country later on this morning. Amendment 2 got enough support in Florida to legalize marijuana for people with physician-approved conditions, and Florida will be the 26th state to approve that. 2 of last night's winners in the election will be joining us on set this morning to discuss their wins. The mayor of Venice, John Hollick, and State House seat 74 winner Julio Gonzalez, both here to talk about their plans for the future.
The Canadian government's immigration website crashed last night. Apparently, the election inspired many to look into leaving the country. Business Insider reports the site went down around 10:30 last night, and access has been spotty ever since. Online searches regarding moving to Canada and becoming a Canadian citizen grew in recent months, particularly after President-elect Donald Trump won the nomination. Now it's 5:54. We have more politics coming up for you, and maybe see what, maybe, they haven't said when Hillary's going to speak.
No, later this morning is the most that we have heard. But from what I understand, during the overnight hours, things changing in the 2 and 3 o'clock hours. But Hillary Clinton did call Donald Trump to offer her congratulations, and we'll be finding out what she has to say to the country as we go throughout the morning. 5:55 right now, taking a live look at Washington, D.C., where changes are certainly on the way. If you are just waking up and joining us, President-elect Donald Trump officially elected to the House